We finally made it to the best skills in No More Room in Hell 2 1.0. We already talked about the weaker skills in F, D, C, and B tiers. Now we're looking at A tier and S tier. A tier skills are really good and are worth building around. S tier skills are the very best skills in the game. They are useful in almost every situation. Let's finish this list. Normally, you have 100 HP. With Expert Deprived, you have 120 HP. That's a lot more health. The downside is that you carry 2 kilograms less stuff. For melee players who doesn't need to carry lots of bullets, this is a great trade. You're giving up a little inventory space to become much harder to kill. A tier. Stamina is very important in No More Room in Hell 2. You need stamina to run away from zombies, move around the map, and get out of dangerous situations. Marathon Runner lets you run for longer before getting tired. It works no matter what weapon you're using, which makes it very useful. It's not quite S tier because it only helps with sprinting, but getting Expert at level 18 is a great deal. Rush is one of the best skills you can get early in the game. Why? Because you only need level 2 to unlock the Expert bonus. If you like big two-handed melee weapons, this skill can save you a lot of stamina. It isn't very useful for players who mainly use guns, but for heavy melee players, it's fantastic. Skilled Medic means your healing becomes twice as powerful. For example, a bandage normally heals 25 HP. Expert Skilled Medic makes it heal 50 HP. A medkit normally heals 100 HP. Expert Skilled Medic makes it heal 200 HP. That's a huge amount of healing. It also helps when you're healing your teammates. The big problem is that you need level 88 to get the Expert bonus. That's a lot of leveling. Still, the skill itself is extremely strong. Scavenger is great if you like guns. On harder difficulties, you get less ammo from pickups. That means every bullet becomes more important. Scavenger gives you 30% more ammo, which helps solve that problem. It's not nearly as useful for players who mostly use melee weapons, but if you use guns a lot, this skill is excellent, and you only need level 8 for Expert. This skill is much better than it might sound. When a teammate is knocked down, they can't help fight the zombies. With Expert staying alive, you can get them back into the fight twice as fast. The bonus also works when you use a revived syringe on yourself. That's very helpful. And you only need level 6 for Expert. It's not quite S tier because it isn't useful in every single situation, but it's still an amazing skill. This skill is super simple. You normally have 100 HP. With Expert Thick Skin, you have 120 HP. That's it. You don't need a special weapon. You don't need a special enemy. You don't need a special situation. You just have more health because it works with almost every build. It's a very safe choice. Stamina helps with lots of things. You use it when sprinting, attacking with melee weapons, running away from zombies, moving into a better position. Having more stamina means you are less likely to suddenly run out when you really need it. Expert Athlete gives you 20% more stamina, which is a big improvement. It's not S tier because Sturdy Body gives you protection from damage, which can be even more important. But Athlete is still a very safe and useful choice. Reloading can be dangerous. When you're reloading, your gun isn't shooting. That gives zombies time to get closer. Expert Rifle Reloading makes you reload 40% faster. It also works with SMGs, not just rifles. That means you spend less time waiting and more time fighting. It works with several weapons and doesn't require a strange playstyle. Shotguns are very powerful at close range, but there's one big problem. You have to reload them. If zombies are coming toward you while you're reloading, things can get scary very quickly. Expert Shotgun Reloading makes that reload happen 40% faster. For someone who loves shotguns, this one is the best skills you can pick. A handgun can be your emergency weapon. Imagine your main weapon runs out of bullets while zombies are getting close. You pull out your handgun. If you can reload it quickly, you can start shooting again sooner. Expert handgun reloading gives you a 40% reload speed boost, and you only need level 11 for expert. For a handgun focused player, this could almost be S tier. For the whole game though, we'll keep it at A tier. This is what an S tier skill should look like. You take 20% less damage from attacks. It doesn't matter if you're using a melee weapon, a rifle, a shotgun, a handgun, or a support build. If something hits you, sturdy body helps. It becomes even better on harder difficulties because zombies can hit much harder. The only bad thing is that expert requires level 100. That's a very high level, but the skill itself is incredibly powerful. Getting infected can be a huge problem. Once you're infected, you have to worry about fixing it before it becomes too serious. You may need special medicine, and it can make a good run go bad. Acquired immunity helps stop the problem before it happens. Expert gives you 20% more infection resistance. That's very useful because you don't have to worry about one of the game's most dangerous problems as often. It works with every weapon and every playstyle. That's exactly what we want from an S tier skill. And that's the complete No More Room in Hell 2 1.0 skill tier list. But remember, a lower tier skill isn't automatically bad. Some skills become really powerful when you build your whole character around them. For example, a shotgun player might really like shotgun reloading, tight shot, Icarus, overkill. A player who loves heavy rifles might prefer steel chamber, eagle eye, penetrating shot. So you might look at this list and completely disagree with it, and that's okay. The fun part of the skill system is making your own build and finding what works best for you. So what do you think? Which skill should be S tier? And more importantly, which skill did I rank completely wrong? Tell me what you think. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more No More Room in Hell 2 content. And as always, good luck, take care.